Brighton, an iconic British seaside resort renowned for its Victorian pier, fish and chips, quaint shopping lanes and Regency architecture. But a recent study on ecological footprints in major cities revealed it had one of the poorest ratings in the UK. So now the South Coast city is fast developing a green reputation by tackling its ecological footprint head-on. To showcase some of its eco-friendly credentials and encourage and inspire others to do the same, the council has launched its first series of eco-open house weekends. Visitors are given the opportunity to see inside 14 properties in the city that range from traditional conversions to state-of-the-art contemporary developments. Between them, they demonstrate examples of environmental renovation, insulation, renewable energy, rainwater harvesting and various forms of recycling.
The aim really is to show people what sustainable building is, how they can do this for themselves in their own houses. Also, we wanted to showcase the great practice that there is in Brighton, and also to celebrate fantastic local architects and renewables companies that we have around here.
From the outside, this Victorian semi looks like all the others on the street, but a glimpse inside reveals a wealth of green features that were added as part of a recent eco-refurbishment. Adding new interior walls throughout the house allow for thick insulation accompanied by high-tech radiant wall heating. Pipes situated behind the walls provide heat that can be controlled in each room. Heat simply radiates through the walls, eliminating drafts, damp and the need for radiators.
I mean, to be honest, if we had our way, we would have just pulled it down.
The features that are really being showcased, first and foremost, is the reducing their energy use. And we've got a lot of solar thermal on show. But on the other hand, there's much more low-cost measures like increased loft insulation and cavity wall insulation, and like here at South Down Avenue, there's internal wall insulation. So on one hand, there's those kind of measures that really involve changing the building itself. On the other hand, there's just approaches, lifestyle approaches, things people can do that actually don't cost any money that will bring down their energy bills.
It took owners Sigrid and Peter over a year of planning and hard work to transform the property into a bright and environmentally friendly home that fitted their green ideals. Every aspect aims to lower the family's carbon footprint, like the low-energy induction hob in the kitchen that automatically switches off when the pan is removed.
Well, we did some research and we started with the most important factors like insulation. Everybody said CO2 emission reductions, so you need to start with insulation, putting that in. We wanted to have outside insulation. That wasn't possible because we're in a conservation area. Therefore, we put inside insulation in and we put that in the walls, under the roof and under the floors. And the next thing then was the heating system. Obviously, that needs to be as efficient as possible.
Energy-efficient features fill the house, meaning their bills have plummeted to a third of an average household. Upstairs, a condensing boiler consumes less fuel to heat the home, which is supported by renewable energy from solar roof panels and south-facing windows which harvest the sun's energy.
We feel definitely much better about it. First of all, as I said, it's just the walls, the radiation is very pleasant. I mean, the heating system that doesn't need the radiators, but rather the heating comes out of the walls, and that feels very pleasant. And also that there's no draft and things like that. Also, it's completely dry. I mean, one of the walls was a bit wet, and with this heating system that we have, it really pushes any dampness that was there, it pushes it completely out, so everything is completely dry. So it's a very pleasant house to live in.
The council have coordinated with the Low Carbon Trust to highlight the connection between buildings and carbon emissions.
Next year, in 2009, we're renegotiating the Kyoto Protocol, and this time we're not just going to be looking for a 5% cut. There will be serious figures on the table about, we're hopefully going to be looking at an 80% cut in carbon dioxide emissions across the total world's economy. And this house here behind us, South Down Avenue, that house has almost achieved that already. It's cut its emissions by over 70%, so it's just providing powerful, positive local examples to people of what they can do with their housing if they so desire. And the crucial point to them really is just highlighting how easy it is and how they can save money.
Just around the corner is a totally different kind of eco-house. Smart House was constructed around a holistic design that integrates the environmental aspects into the aesthetic and gives a fascinating glimpse into how the zero-carbon homes of the future may look. The single-storey dwelling is embedded into the ground and faces due south. Its passive solar design means it can maintain a comfortable internal temperature all year round by taking advantage of natural elements of sun, wind and earth. Photovoltaic and solar panels generate renewable energy and hot water on site, and a grass roof attracts biodiversity.
The key eco-feature of any house, really, is firstly to get what they call high thermal mass, a big solid lump of a house that's highly insulated and has as few windows on the north as possible to avoid any heat going out on the non-sunny side, and as many windows on the south as possible to capture the sun. It's a very, very straightforward and basic principle. And here we were very lucky because we dropped the house into a hole in the ground, we pushed it hard up against a bank, so we've only got windows on one side, and then we converted those windows to a series of doors that open on a centre pivot. So you can almost use the doors as a weather vane. You can use the doors as a wing catcher, so that you can get ventilation by changing the angle of them, which means the house cools down when, although facing due south, is in a situation where it's beginning to overheat a bit.
The property actively demonstrates rainwater harvesting. Water drains from the roof into a pool, which is then filtered and used for washing clothes, showering, flushing the toilet and watering the garden. This provides a sustainable solution for conserving valuable drinking quality water.
And the hosepipe ban comes on, which inevitably always does every summer in England. We don't have to worry about it because we've got our own water resource, which is nice. And we've also got a sedum roof on the top here, which needs irrigation as well. So the water hits the roof, goes underneath, the sedum pulls up as much of it as it wants, and then it drops down into this pool. And there are aesthetic effects as well. It was very, very deliberate that the pool of water would begin to reflect the sun's light on the soffit, which then acts as a solar shade for the windows, which might have a tendency to overheat. So you can see then that the system of design decisions are all homogeneous. One affects the other, which affects the third, but they all come into balance to create a house that basically is intelligent, looks after itself.
Inside, the house is constructed using sustainable materials and maintains a light, airy feel. Visible concrete walls give a sleek contemporary look designed to enhance the aesthetics. The property uses almost zero energy and requires minimal running costs. Super insulation, solar water heating and photovoltaic panels create renewable energy, providing significant savings in an era of rising fuel costs.
We anticipate that an energy-conscious family, maybe 2 adults and one child, could live here and be pretty much self-sufficient and not have to rely upon the natural gas or mains electricity.
The walls are thicker than in most homes, constructed from more than half a metre of thick concrete and insulation, which soaks up heat during the day and releases it at night. Built for around £165,000, Smart House proves that eco-homes can be successfully constructed for the same price as other new developments.
Eventually the existing housing stock is going to run out and new housing stock needs to come along, and it needs to be sustainable. It's only going to be brought on by commercial developers like myself, and with the support of hopefully the planners and the government incentives, developers need to become aware that it isn't just a burden to put sustainability into your developments. It actually has a positive outcome. We can develop for not a lot more than a conventional cost of a conventional build, and that way we can do our bit for the environment and create much better buildings.
2/3 of the homes in Brighton were built pre-1940, which have the highest energy use. But Eco Open House has demonstrated how easy improving their energy performance can be. With more property developers making greenhouses a reality, the city can tackle its ecological footprint, reducing its impact on global warming.